Good evening to all. Welcome to another part of the series on literature review. And as promised, now I would be starting off with the parts discussing on different kind of reviews. So, top of the list is with the argumentative review. So, let's see what is argumentative review. When I myself was learning about it, I was amazed to see and started writing couple of papers using this particular methodology. Now here we go and we start off with the argumentative review. Now what is it exactly? Now this, they say, forms or examines literature selectively in order to support or refute an argument. Now you see, argument, I'm not discussing it in terms of the litigation as it is used in law and legal studies. This is, again, as I keep telling, that yes, there has to be technical training, or there is something, a subject totally devoted to understand what exactly argument is all about. Maybe by tomorrow I would be able to come up with the series to discuss more about argument and see what exactly argument is all about. Now, what does it comprise of, and what are the technicalities involved into it? So here at the moment, I'm just going to say that yes, refute an argument deeply embedded assumptions or the philosophical problem which is already established in the literature. The purpose is to develop a body of literature, that gives you a contrary viewpoint on the value-laden nature of some social science research. Example would be like educational reforms, immigration control. Now here you will be seeing that the a lot of discussions takes place in terms of arguments. Now I have seen those papers which I might be most probably sharing within this particular discussion itself, and if possible, or maybe in a different part of the series itself, we will see. Now argumentative approaches to analyze the literature can be legitimate and important form of discourse. I mean, it's I would love to see someone adopting this particular thing and proceeding further into their own literature of review. However, note that they can also introduce problems of biases. Now here this is what they're saying. However, I would say that there would not be any kind of a bias, because each and every argument that you're going to present, the premise would be backed up with I should say a support that with already published paper, or an empirical study, you can say, or a book which has been written by an author claiming so this and this, or there is a theory which is giving us some kind of a support. When they are used to make summary claims of the sort found in the systematic reviews. Now they say that, however, for me, systematic reviews are very different from the argumentative reviews, and we would see how they are different also. Now here under this only we would see that when you are reading the literature and going ahead with the argumentative review, there are certain steps. Now what are those steps? Read the abstract of the article or preface and introduction of the book. Majority of us, we don't. We just flip the preface or the abstract and the introduction of the book and directly jump into the chapters. However, I would say please keep the pencil ready or a marker ready and try to understand what the author or the writer or the scholar researcher would love to say, or has got an idea, and those ideas can be seen in this different form. Skim through the article or the book, survey the main parts of the article. So these are the levels. First is that. Second, go through the book, then survey the main parts of the article or the book, read in detail the selected important parts. Now once you have taken care of these following steps, now we will see another different kind of an analysis which is coming in, which they call it as the argument analysis. Now here you would see that an argument involves again the word argument is coming in. However, let's push ourselves into understanding what exactly takes place, and later on we will come over. Now an argument involves putting forward reasons to influence someone's belief that you are proposing in the case. Now this has been mentioned by Hinderer in 1992. Whichever way someone makes an argument, they are attempting to convince others of the validity or logic of how they see the world, and convinces us that we should see it in the way they are taking care of it. So it the previous studies or the prior research which has been taken care, they are looking the particular thing from I should say with a specific perspective. So you are trying to understand that an argument has at least two components, always remember. And what are those two components? One is a point and second is a reason. Now if you are following my series on fallacies, you will understand how the reviews as well as the series on fallacies as well as the definitions, all three of them are interlinked with each other. So you should even focus on that part of the series also. Making a point or a statement or conclusion, and the second point would be providing sufficient reason or evidence, maybe in terms of a paper or a book or an article, or maybe a claim that somebody has made for the point to be accepted by others. So this is what we are calling as the argument analysis. Now there is something else that you have to understand, and this is the best part of it, which I was surprised when I myself was able to check it out. There are basically two methods to analyze and evaluate arguments intelligently and fairly. What are they? Fishers. Hail Fisher. Now, in quantitative analysis, I was able to hear a lot. I read about some of his articles and books, and again in qualitative, I was able to understand what he has to say. And now here, when I'm doing the literature review, also Fisher is present. So really we need to give him that kind of an appreciation. So one is the Fisher's method of critical reading. Now what is it? How does he give us that particular method to go ahead with the critical reading? And second is the Tolman's method of argumentation analysis. Now this was something, these two methods, I was amazed when I myself was suggested to sit and read these two techniques and understand. I was jumping myself, oh god, this is something quite new for me. Now in the same manner, if you will look, now I'll be starting off with the Fisher's method. I'm just giving you the introduction. We would be doing this again in depth. Fisher's method of critical reading. Fisher in 1993 provides a method for systematic reading of textbooks. This initial reading technique enables the reader to systematically extract the main elements or words of any arguments for the purposes of the evaluation. Now, how does he talk about it? Skim through the text, circle any inference indicators, thus, therefore, etc. Underline conclusion with C, and you can make your own shortcuts of doing it. Place reasons in brackets indicated by words like because, since, etc. Construct the arguments diagram. I'll be showcasing to you the diagram maybe in the later part of the presentation, and then you can see. So you get that construct an arguments diagram, a map diagram, you will be getting it. So we get what? R is equals to C. Now what is R? R is reasoning. R1 plus R2 plus R3 will be equivalent to therefore C1, which will be called as the interim conclusion, or you can say C1 plus R3 equals to therefore C2 main conclusion. Now this is a very fascinating, and once I start developing that kind of a thing, I myself learned that technique, and when I learned it, how he was taking care of it, I thought, okay, very clever kind of a person, and then the way he introduced it was marvelous. In the same manner, let's go ahead with the Tolman's method of argumentation analysis. Tolman developed an approach to argumentation analysis that was rooted in the practice rather than in the theory of logic. Now, logic is my favorite domain and subject, and I thank my teachers for making me, groom me, grilled me like anything. And whenever I was sitting outside, they used to tell me, can you please enter the class and start learning? They never use the word please. However, they used to say, I want you in my class. So I used to attend the classes again and again, and I repeated myself in order to master these things. He proposes that an argument can be broken up into a number of basic elements that are as follows: claim and arguable statements, evidence that are used to support the claim, warrant or permit, and expectation, the evidence, an expectation that provides the link between the evidence and the link, backing, that is the context and assumption used to support the validity or the warrant and the evidence. Now, I'll showcase to you the exact method in which this can be understood, and you will be loving it. Now, this I have adopted the example from Chris Hart's book, Doing a Literature Review, on page number 87, and you can see how he gives it. Following is an example from everyday life. In dry summers, consumers are asked and expected to save water through careful and limited use. This is normally taken to mean water should only be used for essential things like watering lawns, filling swimming pools, and washing cars are prohibited. The argument of this could have the following structure. What is it? Under the data, car washers can use up to 250,000 gallons of water in the main summer weeks. This quantity depletes water reserve, so he has given us. Under the warrant, water is essential and people should not waste it in times of the shortage. Claim is what? Car owners should restrict washing their cars in areas of the country. This is it. Now I have one more book with me wherein I have a lot of such work which we can definitely pick it up and then we can learn. So this comes under the restriction. Now what is the backing? That is because. What is the reason? Water shortage caused inconvenience are a danger to people and can be costly to the consumers. So you can see the entire thing given to you in the form of the words. However, there is another technique which would be I would be introducing, and we can learn and we will be able to do it in a faster method also. So that's what I just wanted to discuss about the argumentative. I hope you like it, all of you, because this is a new technique that I have learned and I wanted to share with all of you. So I hope I'll be able to give you more in the next part of the series. Till then, thanks. Take care. Bye.